Julius, thank you so much for sticking around because your list of accomplishments, it's as long as Perk suits. Hall of Fame member, NBA 75th anniversary team, NBA champion, 4-time MVP, 16-time All-Star, and now you're in the upper room. How does that stack up? Let's just start there.
Well, Malika, thank you for having me, and Vince for inviting me. I feel like it's an honor and a privilege. You know, you guys have a great show, and you always make your guests look good. So now's your chance to make me look good.
Let's do it. I love that. We mentioned 16-time All-Star between the NBA and the ABA, and today the first release of fan voting. Right now, East frontcourt starters, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, not Jason Tatum. Do you agree with fans on those top players being the top three?
It's hard to knock those three. I'm pretty much a Eastern Conference guy, so you know I'm pulling for the guys from the East to be the best. Right now, I mean, top three. When you're in the top 12, there's no shame in being number 1 versus number 12, 11 versus 2, 10 versus 3. There's no shame. All-Star is All-Star. Jason Tatum's going to be there.
Yeah.
He and Jaylen Brown probably both going to be there.
Well, another accolade you're no stranger to is league MVP. 4 times between the ABA and the NBA, you won it. There's just so much talent, I think, in today's game. The MVP debate, it's always just such a hot topic. Right now, though, if you had to vote, who would it be?
Well, I said I'm biased, so I'm East Coast, and I'm Philly born and bred. I mean, I'm from New York, but Philly's my second home. So I got to go with Joel. He's been knocking at the door. 2 years, came up just short. He's constantly challenging himself. And what do I have to do? Now he's leading the league in scoring. And I don't know if it's going to end up like that at the end of the year, but he would be my choice as the favorite for it. For Philly to do better, I think this is not a criticism, but they're going to have to rely on those guys on the bench to be Harden and the big three, Maxey and Embiid, or whatever, are going to give them plenty, but it's not going to be enough. So grooming those guys right now before the end of the season to help during the playoffs. They went out and got some serious guys added to that roster, and I'd like to see it all come together. A great 8 or 9 man rotation, and then a great 6 or 7 man rotation in the playoffs.
Well, certainly, if the Sixers want to go the full distance, they're going to need that MVP level from Joel Embiid. You famously won the 1976 ABA All-Star Slam Dunk Contest with this dunk that we're going to show our viewers right here. You took off from the free throw line. If you could pick one player in the league to see in this year's dunk contest, who would it be?
Well, John Moran is, it's not that spectacular when you're a big guy doing great dunks. But when you're a little guy, per se, 6'2", 6'3", or whatever, and you're dunking, and he probably could make it more electric with props, and I don't know if props are even allowed anymore, but I could see him jumping over cars. I could see him jumping over motorcycles, jumping over 2 or 3 people, standing shoulder to shoulder, and still pulling it off. So, he's the most electric dunker in the league right now.
Ooh, most electric dunker in the league. I like that. Well, I want to bring back another electric dunker, Vince Carter, into this conversation here, because if we're looking at putting together a all-star dream dunk contest, players from all eras, 4 names, who would it be? Dr. J, starting with you.
Well, you got to go with Vince. You got to go with Neek. You got to go with MJ. And I'll take Clyde, because Clyde's my boy.
Clyde. All right. Yeah. Vince, what was yours?
First of all, I'm going with Doc. Then I'm going with MJ. Then I'm going Dominique. And then I would love to be a part of that crew. And if I had an honorable mention, I definitely want to mention David Thompson as another guy who's very capable. But Doc, MJ, and Neek would be a trio of guys that I would love to join to be in that contest.
I love it. I love both of those. I mean, let's
We
make
got the same guy.
Yeah.
We picked the same guy.
It's a lot of
right?
overlap. Great dunkers see other great dunkers. Dr. J, Vince, thank you so very much for spending some time with us here on NBA Today. This was so much fun to go through all of these dunks, particularly upper room.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.